Okay, hello Nazgul. Yeah, so not much was going on at the office, so I decided to just go home and make this video instead because I figured we talked about so many things last night in terms of the basics that some of them might not have been clear. So I'm just gonna review the stuff we started with in this first video, and then I'll show you a bit in a bit more detail how to play um, what's that called? Hey Soul Sister in the second video. So to start with, last night we started by talking about the basic notes that everyone starts with. That right? Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Right? Which as I mentioned, in modern music is named by letter names, starting with C all the way to G, and then circling back to A and B. So I know it's confusing, but that's the way they named it. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then it goes back to C. So that C is just a higher version of the first note. C, C. It's just it's what we call an octave. Same note but different frequencies. So C, 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 something, right? But all just octaves. So all these notes exist in multiple frequencies, getting higher and higher, but they're the same notes. So from there, so we know C, D, E, F, G, G, A, B, C. In the middle of most of these notes, if you go half a step higher or half a step lower, we call them sharps or flats, respectively. So for instance, we can go from C, half a step higher would be C sharp, right? So da, na, na, da, na, right? If you went half a step higher, so that's C sharp, but that's also known as D flat because it's half a step lower from D. So D, 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 D flat, right? So C sharp, half a step higher from C, is the same as D flat, half a step lower from D. So that note has two names. Same goes for between F and G. F, G. Half a step higher from F would be an F sharp. F sharp. Or it's also known as G flat because it's half a step lower from G. So G, G flat. So again, two names for that. So as we go from F, between F to G, there's an F sharp or a G flat. Between C to E, there's an C sharp or a D flat. Between A to B as well, right? There's an A sharp in between them, or also known as a B flat. The only exceptions are from B to C. There's no flats or sharps in between them because there's only half a step between B and C. And from E to F, only half a step between them. Again, no E sharp, no such thing as an E sharp, no such thing as an F flat, right? So putting all those together, you have all the 12 notes that are available to you in music. C, C sharp or D flat, D, E, D sharp or E flat, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G, and then A, G, and then G sharp or A flat, and then A, and then A sharp or B flat, and then B, and then back to C, and then it just repeats after that. So altogether, the 12 notes just repeats after that, just a higher octave. And then back to C. Okay, so that's just basically the just trying to give you an idea of what the notes are and where they are. So getting to the guitar, where those notes are on the guitar, I showed you yesterday that so when you're not pressing anything on the fretboard, we call them open. When you play a string without pressing anything, that's an open string. So this string, this first string, that's an E note, right? The second string, I don't know if you see it. That second string is a B note. The third string is a B. The fourth string is a D. The fifth string is an A. And the sixth string is an E. Right? So E, B, G, D, A, and E. Okay? So that means going from 0, which is open, to 1 is a half step. That becomes E, then F. From 1 to 2 is another half step. So from F to F sharp or G flat. And another half step from 2 to 3 takes you from F sharp or G flat to G, and so on and so forth. Same for the other strings. For instance, on this second string, going from 0, that's a B. From 0 to 1, that's a half step. So from B to C is a half step. So B, C. And then from 1 to 2 is another half step. So C, C sharp or D flat. And then on the third fret is a D, and so on and so forth. So that's just how you will figure out eventually I know that's a lot of information to begin with, but that's just how you eventually begin to kind of learn where all the notes on the fretboard are, what their names are, and where to find them. So for instance, eventually you just press whatever and you know what note that is. For instance, I know this is an E, this is an E, that is an E, and that just comes with familiarity over time as you play more and more.